Thursday in Passion Week, True Wisdom, by St. John Chrysostom. Darkness seems to be more suitable than light to those that are diseased in their eyesight, wherefore they betake themselves by preference to some room that is thoroughly shaded over. This is also the case with the wisdom that is spiritual. As the wisdom which is of God seemed to be foolishness unto those without, so their own wisdom, being foolishness indeed, was accounted by them wisdom. The result has been, just as if a man having skill in navigation were to promise that without a ship or sails he would pass over a boundless tract of the sea, and then endeavor by reasonings to prove that the thing is possible, but some other person ignorant of it all, committing himself to a ship and a steersman and to sailors, were thus to sail in safety. For the seeming ignorance of this man is wiser than the wisdom of the other. For excellent is the art of managing a ship, but when it makes too great professions, it is a kind of folly. And so is every art which is not contented with its own proper limits. Just so the wisdom which is without were wisdom indeed, if it had the benefit of the Spirit. But since it is trusted all to itself, and supposed that it wanted none of that help, it became foolishness, although it seemed to be wisdom. Wherefore, having first exposed it by the facts, then, and not till then, the Apostle calls it foolishness, and having first called the wisdom of God folly, according to their reckoning, then, and not till then, he shows it to be wisdom. His words then are, Howbeit we speak wisdom among them which are perfect. For when I, accounted as I am foolish, and a preacher of follies, get the better of the wise, I overcome wisdom, not by foolishness, but by a more perfect wisdom, a wisdom, too, so ample and so much greater, that the other appears foolishness. Wisdom is the name he gives to the gospel, to the method of salvation, the being saved by the cross. The perfect are those that believe. For indeed they are perfect who know all human things, that they are utterly helpless, and who overlook them from conviction, that by such they are profited no thing, such as were the true believers. But not the wisdom of this world. From where is the use of the wisdom which is without, terminating here, and proceeding no further, and not even here able to profit its possessors? Now, by the princes of this world, here he means those in authority, those in power, those who esteem the things with contending about, philosophers and orators. For these were the dominant sort, and often became leaders of the people. Rulers of this world he calls them, because beyond this present world their dominion extends not. Wherefore he adds further, which come to naught, disparaging it both on its own account and from those who wield it. For having shown that it is false, that it is foolish, that it is unable to discover anything, that it is weak, he shows moreover that it is but of short duration. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery. What mystery? For surely Christ saith, What ye have heard in the ear, proclaim upon the housetops. How then does he call it a mystery? Because that neither angel, nor archangel, nor any other created power knew of it before it actually took place. Wherefore he saith, that now unto the principalities and powers in heavenly places might be known by the church the manifold wisdom of God. And this hath God done in honor to us, so that they not without us should hear the mysteries. For we too ourselves, whomsoever we make our friends, used to speak of this as sure proof of friendship towards them, that we tell our secrets to no one in preference to them. Let those hear who make a sort of triumphal show of the secrets of the gospel, and unto all indiscriminately display the pearls and the doctrine, and who cast the holy things unto dogs and swine, and useless reasonings. For the mystery wants no adornment, but just what the fact is, that it is simply declared to be, since it will not be a mystery divine and whole in all its parts, when thou addest anything to it of thyself also. And in another sense, too, a mystery is so called, because we believe not the very things which we see, but some things we see, and others we believe. For such is the nature of our mysteries. I, for instance, feel differently upon these subjects from an unbeliever. I hear, Christ was crucified, and forthwith I admire his loving kindness unto men. The others hear and esteem it as weakness. I hear, he became a servant, and I wonder at the care which he hath for us. The others hear and count its dishonor. I hear, he died, and am astonished at his might, that being in death he was not holden, but even broke the bonds of death. The other hears and surmises it to be helplessness. He hearing of the resurrection saith, the thing is a legend. I, aware of the facts which demonstrate it, fall down and worship the economy of God. He, hearing of a laver, counts it merely as water. But I behold not simply the thing which is seen, but the purification of the soul which is by the Spirit. He considers only that my body hath been washed, but I believe that the soul also hath become pure and holy. And I count it the sepulchre, the resurrection, the sanctification, the righteousness, the redemption, the adoption, the inheritance, the kingdom of heaven, the plenary infusion of the Spirit. For not by the sight do I judge of the things that appear, but by the eyes of the mind. I hear of the body of Christ. In one sense I understand the expression, in another sense the unbeliever. And just as children, looking on their books, know not the meaning of the letters, neither know what they see, yea more, if even a man grown become unskilful in letters, the same thing will befall him. But the skilful will find much meaning stored up in the letters, even complete lines and histories, and an epistle in the hands of one that is unskilful will be accounted but paper and ink. But he that knows how to read will both hear a voice, and hold and converse with the absent, and will reply whatsoever he chooses by means of writing. So it is also in regard of the mystery. Unbelievers, albeit they seem to hear, hear not. But the faithful, having the skill which is by the Spirit, behold the meaning of the things stored therein. For instance, it is this very thing that Paul signified, when he said that even now the word preached is hidden. For unto them that perish, he saith, it is hidden. By the name of wisdom he calls both Christ and the cross and the gospel. Opportunely also he called him the Lord of glory. For seeing that the cross is counted a matter of ignominy, he signifies that the cross was great glory, but that there was need of great wisdom in order to join with the knowledge of God, the learning of this, God's dispensation, and the wisdom which was without turned out an obstacle, not to the former only, but to the latter also. What then hath eye not seen what God hath prepared? No, for who among men saw the things which were about to be dispensed? Hath then ear not heard? Neither hath it entered into the heart of man? How is this? For if the prophet spoke of it, how saith he, ear hath not heard? The prophet truly heard, but not with the ear of man. For not as men heard they, but as prophets. And so by what it is esteemed to be the foolishness of preaching, he shall overcome the world, and the nations shall be brought in, and there shall be reconciliation of God with men, and so great blessings shall come upon us.